What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan Avington of Marquette Athletics, and today we have a check-in with Marquette men's lacrosse alum Luke Anderson, who's currently a midfielder with the Chesapeake Bayhawks of the MLL, which began its quarantine tournament recently. Luke, how's it going?
Going well. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing all right. So you're currently in Annapolis, Maryland, in the MLL bubble. What has the bubble lifestyle been like?
Yeah, so it's definitely a little different in terms of kind of my thoughts and expectations for this summer season here. So we've been in a hotel as a team and as a whole league with players, coaches, staff, referees. We're all in a hotel here in downtown Annapolis, about a mile from the Naval Academy Stadium. It's been good, kind of, and one advantage is just being able to get to know the guys on my team in kind of a more condensed environment. So can't complain. We're able to play lacrosse and have a season, so can't go wrong.
Your Marquette career ended really abruptly at the end of this past season. What do you remember about how the end of this year played out?
Yeah, so I think that was obviously a huge disappointment at the time. I think our team was just kind of devastated in terms of how suddenly everything came down. I remember riding home on the bus from our Michigan game, and that's when we saw that the NBA season was canceled. And it kind of sunk in there that the dominoes might be starting to fall. And then a few days later is when we found out about the NCAA's decision. But I think in the overarching view of things that we all kind of came to realization that there's a bigger picture involved in terms of public safety, and I think we were able to be mature enough to kind of understand the total perspective of it all. But it still was very tough on the team for sure.
As a senior, it was kind of an uncertain few weeks when the committees were deciding about eligibility. Some of your teammates decided to return for a fifth year while you made the choice to turn pro and to start a job in Minneapolis. What went into that decision, and how hard was it to make?
Yeah, so it was a very hard process. I kept going back and forth in terms of kind of weighing different options about not only my lacrosse career as far as playing and coming back to school the next year, but also professionally and personally, thinking through just different decisions. So I ended up coming to the conclusion that it was best for me to move on and to not return for the next year. It was such a tough decision, but looking back, I think I made the right choice as tough as it was, and I'm still just super excited to watch the guys that are coming back next year and come to games and watch them succeed.
Outside of lacrosse, what's the job that you have lined up?
So I've been interviewing for jobs the past few weeks and just received a job offer as a supply chain procurement specialist role. So I'm waiting to hear back on another interview that I had this past week also, and then should be kind of finalizing that up within the next week. So definitely excited to kind of begin that process of getting into work after the season here. So
Very nice. Congratulations on that.
thank you.
It seems like it's been a whirlwind week in the past few days, especially entering the bubble, meeting your team for the first time and practicing, and then immediately playing in your first pro game a few days after that. Talk about what that experience has been like and what your emotions have been like the past week.
Yeah, so I think it's been kind of a whirlwind of emotions. Coming into it, you can't help but be a little bit nervous just to not quite know how you're going to stack up against these pro guys and a lot of these athletes out there that you've been watching growing up. Some guys that have been around the league a long time. But as I started to get more comfortable on the field in our first four games, I feel like I'm fitting in well and able to contribute to the team. So it's been a learning curve that's had to be sped up, but I think it's been a great process, and really looking forward to this weekend, having a chance to win a championship.
Similar to that last question, you went from being a college senior playing alongside 18-year-old freshmen to suddenly playing alongside the best pros in the world, including your teammate Lyle Thompson. How have you been able to reflect on that, and what has that transition been like?
Yeah, it's been definitely a little different in the pro environment, just in terms of kind of the dynamic of the team. We do have a full coaching staff, obviously, but a lot of the leadership and on-field play kind of comes from the players. Guys like Lyle Thompson, Isaiah Davis-Allen at the defensive midfield position. So I think just being able to watch those guys operate and carry themselves at a high level is what's rubbed off on me the past few days this week.
What was it like scoring that first MLL goal?
It was great. I think just to be able to put one in my first game. I kind of knew coming into the tournament that that's a advantage that I might have, just kind of bringing that skill, pushing transition over from my college experience. So that gave me a lot of confidence just to know that I belonged on that field.
You're currently playing on the same team as Marquette alum Zach Malillo, and there's other Marquette alumni in the league like Liam Burns, Ryan McNamara. How cool is it to get to play on a team with Zach again and to see other Marquette alums on other teams?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I haven't seen Zach in quite a while, so coming into the tournament knowing that we recently traded for him, just getting to connect with him and catch up on a more personal level, hear about everything he's been going with. He recently moved out to Los Angeles, so it's been great to catch up with him, share meals, and then also just seeing Ryan McNamara and Liam Burns around the hotel and catch up with them as well. And then playing against Liam obviously reminds me of quite the talent that he has out there on the field, and then looking forward to playing against Ryan Mac tomorrow as well.
Final question. Looking back at your college experience, how did your time at Marquette shape you not only as a person but also as a player?
Yeah, I think it shaped me from a personal and athletic perspective. I think on the field is when we really were committed to giving all we had and getting the most out of ourselves, and that's kind of the perspective that we took as far as a personal development standpoint too, just with Marquette having the Cure Personalis mentality is what we really focused on as individuals. And I think it's really that experience at Marquette is really going to set me up well with moving into my professional life, with working with teams and just getting to know people. I think that Marquette just had such a great balance of different points of view in terms of development.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on your day off, and good luck in the playoffs in the next couple of days.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.